What's up, Internet? My name is Attack Slug, and welcome to my Raw reactions for the week of November the 2nd, 2015. What happened this week on Monday Night Raw? You know, it's funny. A Monday Night Raw that had no John Cena, no Randy Orton, no Big Show, and no Kane, and I really enjoyed it. How about that? All the guys that I like were on Raw this week, and the ones that I don't want to watch anymore were not on Raw, and I enjoyed it. Funny how that works. So, speaking of things that I did not enjoy too much, though, the show opened with a Roman Reigns promo, and as I've been saying for a while, just let him practice on house shows. Don't have him talk on Raw. Or give him a manager. Or make him a heel. There are options that you could go with. The I'm a face Roman Reigns promos don't work for me. They're just not good. And out comes Rollins, and Rollins has two modes. He has, I'm going to say things sarcastically, and he has ha 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 ha, his laugh nonsense that he always, like, he goes to that laugh way too much. Like, it was fine, you know, using it sparingly is fine. He goes to that laugh way, it's like a quarter of his promo is that laugh. But that brought out the Authority, who is going to give us a 5 versus 5 Survivor Series style, famous sir, main event, as the main event of the show on Raw this evening, or Monday evening. And that would have made for an actual, you know, fantastic match at actually having it at Survivor Series. But obviously, you're already having your world title match between Rollins and Reigns at the show, so you can't have this, you know, thing on there. But certainly, I hope they have some kind of a 5-on-5. Whether or not it involves the Wyatts and Taker and Kane or not, we'll see. But personally, I miss the days of having, you know, multiple 5-on-5 matches at Survivor Series. But at this point, we get one, and, you know, we'll take what they give us because there's no other fucking. Anyway, the first match of the night, Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. This match, which I thought was pretty good. Always good to see these guys having matches on Raw, and they put on an entertaining show. I thought the ending fell a bit flat, having Dolph Ziggler get distracted by Tyler Breeze, who was ringside, who wasn't even on the apron. He was just at ringside with his long selfie stick taking a selfie, and that was enough to distract Dolph Ziggler and cost him the match. That's kind of a lame finish, but hey. Having Owens be a dominant IC champion and win matches, unlike when, say, Wade Barrett held that belt and lost all his non-title matches, having a nice, dominant guy doing that stuff is good to see. Kind of taking up, you know, what Cena was doing with the US title, and that's good to see. After that, we get some backstage stuff with Rollins building his team, and one of which was Owens, and there was a nice tease in there for a potential Owens and Rollins match at some point down the line. That could be awesome. I would love to see that, so hopefully that actually happens at some point. And there was some more of this over the course of the night. Obviously, you had the New Day, and the return of Xavier Woods and all, you know, the unicorn stuff, so I enjoyed that stuff. Moving on past that, we had Cesaro versus The Miz. And it's the kind of match when you're trying to get Cesaro to, you know, be established as being that guy. And to be fair to The Miz bumped his ass off for Cesaro. There was an amazing swing to end the match. What the hell are you doing, Ziggler? Fucking chop kicking the turnbuckle. There was an amazing swing. There was like 25 swings. Because, you know, The Miz is not a heavy dude. The Miz is not Brodus Clay, you know? So swung him for quite a while into a sharpshooter, but you can't pin like that. You can't pin like that. His foot was over. Whatever. Video game. So yes, nice fun match with Cesaro and The Miz that I enjoyed greatly, and having Owens and Cesaro win is, you know, thumbs way up on that. I don't know how I feel about Stardust doing the whole Stardust section with the Ascension. Like, obviously they're going to be setting up some kind of a Cesaro and Stardust thing, and to be fair, Cesaro and Stardust, I'm sure, could have hell of awesome matches. I'm sure those could be great. However, my fear is that that is like a pre-show match. And personally, I want to get Cesaro off the fucking pre-show because he is a main event talent, whether or not Vince thinks he's too Swiss. There was a thing in my eye there. That was unfortunate. Then we got to the Bray Wyatt promo with the Wyatt family, and apparently, in true wrestling fashion, having kidnapped and absorbed the soul of The Undertaker and Kane, he appropriately has, like, the 1995 powers of Undertaker and Kane, which is to say, he can summon fire and CGI lightning. Back when they had Taker and Kane doing their little, like, lightning bolt things in, like, you know, the mid to late 90s, they used, like, these zip wires to shoot, like, a firework down, like, a zip wire, and that was... They didn't CGI it. Obviously, you really didn't have CGI at a consumer level, or at a non-Hollywood film level at that point. So, that was weird. You know, Bray went on about being the higher power, and of course everyone made the Vince joke, you know, it was me all along, all that stuff. That's kind of whatever. And if they're finally going to actually go forward with Bray Wyatt being the next Taker or Kane type figure, where he is actually, you know, just winning important matches and being that kind of a, you know, I'm not saying current Kane. I'm saying, you know, late 90s Kane, where he was just a dominant dude. Like, having Bray Wyatt be that with his faction, that could be what they need. Whether or not they actually pull that trigger remains to be seen, and that's kind of a complaint I've had with the Wyatts for quite some time now, where they're basically the Spirit Squad with beards, because they never fucking win. Anyway, that promo, though, that whole thing with the CGI lightning was corny as hell. But, you know, it's wrestling. At some point, you get some of that, and whether or not it works is all in the execution. So, after that, we actually got a video package for the Lucha Dragons, which is, you know, hey, here's why our people are cool. Here's a video package of them doing cool things. That always works. And it was them versus Barrett and Sheamus. And, you know, it was a fun match. I don't know if it's actually building to anything, like in terms of, hey, you know, the winner gets a tag title shot. I wasn't paying that close attention to it, but it was a fun match. And surprise, surprise, Wade Barrett got pinned, because he always gets pinned by Kalisto. But yes, Wade Barrett always gets pinned, and the Lucha Dragons won that match, and that was, you know, it was a fun little match. So, we go backstage with Zeb Coulter talking to, surprise, surprise, making his long-awaited return to Raw, a very bearded and despondent Jack Swagger, wondering why Zeb is not racist anymore, and why he's doing this whole Mex America thing with Del Rio. And apparently, this is going to build toward Del Rio and Swagger at the pay-per-view, but honestly, it's weird because, like, who is actually, like, the way that they built those characters, that is a heel versus heel match. Like, Del Rio came in with Zeb, who's a heel manager, and they're doing this whole Mex America thing, and that seems like it'd be a heel thing. I don't actually know. But then, Jack Swagger was the former guy who was managed by Zeb, and they didn't want the immigrants sneaking across the border. That's some heel shit. So, basically, Jack Swagger is mad at Zeb for not being racist anymore. Like, who are you supposed to cheer for? He was still wearing a We the People t-shirt. I don't know who you're supposed to cheer for in that. Like, obviously, Swagger, right? No? Del Rio? What? I don't... It's all very, like, confusing. Anyway, that led to R-Truth versus Del Rio, which is not a match that I cared about at all. It just kind of happened. It was there. I could not tell you whatever happened in that match, because it was just such a, you know, big bit of nothing. Anyway, then we move on to a match that, had it had one less participant, could have been so much better. It was what I've been asking for a long time, a Divas match that actually had purpose for their Divas Revolution. It was the Boss, Sasha Banks, versus Paige versus Brie Bella versus Becky Lynch. One of these things is not like the other. Spoiler, it's Brie Bella. She's terrible. I did enjoy this match. Because they're 3 out of the 4 are excellent, I enjoyed this match. But it always feels like Brie Bella came into the business in, like, the Kelly era. Pop-Tart Powerbomb. 2. Brie Bella came in the Kelly era of, you know, can't run the ropes, do some clotheslines and some hair pulls, like, not actual, like, wrestling matches. They were, you know, the 45-second diva matches. So, it always seems like Brie Bella is completely unprepared to take any of these actual moves that she's never seen before in her life. Which you would think, being married to Daniel Bryan, you know, he'd be like, look, babe, you're terrible. You need to get better at this. But, I don't know. So, as I said, most of this match, pretty good. But if I actually want to point out... Man, this is fucking amazing. If I actually want to point out the one thing that bothered me the most in this match, and obviously it's Brie Bella, but actually I have a picture here. There's a picture on the screen right now of Brie Bella kind of half hiding in the corner. She's clearly waiting for her spot with the drop kick from the rope, but she's paralyzed to go anywhere because she doesn't want to miss her spot. It looks so awkward. She was there for like 2 minutes, just in that corner, and like the camera's trying to shoot around her because it's supposed to be a surprise when she comes back and has her drop kick, but it was so terrible. It just kind of, just indicative of how terrible that Brie Bella is overall. And I'm not going to complain too much about the fact that she does the damn Daniel Bryan kicks. Really, Ziggler? Really? She does the damn Daniel Bryan kicks, and she's supposed to be a heel, supposedly supposed to be a heel, and she's doing that shit that gives her the face pops, because obviously people miss her husband, my husband, Daniel Bryan, and I can't get into that again. It just makes me so angry. Anyway, that match, Page won. I guess I should mention the last match, Del Rio won. Of course he did. But Page won that match. She is now the #1 contender for the Divas Championship. That match had consequence. There was a point to it, so it made you invested in it. Funny how wrestling works like that. Anyway, moving on to the main event of the show. So, the main event of the show, your traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match-up, featured Rollins, who built his team over the course of the show. It was Rollins and Owens and The New Day. And then Reigns, they didn't show any of that. So it was Reigns, who are his partners? Now, obviously, you knew one of them was going to be Ambrose, obviously. The other one was Ryback, because, hey, he's a face, and apparently he still has this thing with Owens, which I honestly want him to get past that feud, because, fuck. And the returning Usos, because one of them has been out for, like, half a year with a shoulder injury. Which apparently now, Randy Orton is going to be out for quite a while with a shoulder injury. But, be that as it may, that was your 5-on-5 match. Just a long main event, as it should be, because this is a 5-on-5 elimination. So overall, I thought this match was fantastic. For being a TV match and not a pay-per-view match, I thought it worked really well. It went on for quite a while, and obviously those matches work better when they don't have to be interrupted by commercial breaks. But that's the nature of the business. And eventually it came down to Ambrose and Reigns were the last two versus Rollins, who was the last one because of some miscommunication and accidentally kneeing Owens in the head. And surprise, surprise, wanted to keep his heat. Rollins grabbed a chair and got himself disqualified. Therefore, Reigns and Ambrose win the match, and he escapes with his title. And that is the end of Raw that I've been talking about for 16 minutes now, or 7, whatever it is. So, that being said, I think I've babbled enough. Overall, I did enjoy Raw, and all the guys that I don't want to see weren't on Raw. If they could just kind of shift Brie Bella away from that, that'd be great. I should mention, it is awful convenient that Nikki Bella is out with an injury while Cena is on his little, sabbatical until the middle of December. Why couldn't it be the end of December, but, you know, whatever. So, that's going to do it. I am your host, Attack Slay. That's my Raw reactions for the week of November the 2nd. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. And I will see you next week, and next time, and every day for more videos right here on this channel. And I'm out.